Welcome to the Pretty Gritty Podcast, your number one source for fresh electronic music. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, welcome and thank you so much for tuning in to episode 48 of the Pretty Gritty Podcast, the official podcast of Gone Postal Records and your number one source for fresh electronic music. I am your host, John Jordan, owner of Gone Postal Records, and today's date is November 29th, 2018. This week on the Pretty Gritty Podcast, I've got a handful of huge announcements here at Gone Postal Records, but we've also got new music coming soon on Gone Postal Records, including a pretty trip-hop single from avOva and J.R. Hartley, as well as a gritty IDM single from ANGRKD, both of which are set to release tomorrow, November 30th. Then I've also got new music from the community queued up, including some brand new disco from Rombeat, new trap from Blane and JAQQ, and new IDM from Mxe Prizmo. So before we get into the music this week, like I had said, I have a handful of really big announcements about Gone Postal Records and the Pretty Gritty Podcast that I want to address first. So from now until the beginning of 2019, I'm going to be trying out a couple of little experimental things here at Gone Postal Records. And the first one is I really want to push the Pretty Gritty family to the next level and get a lot of people involved in this growing electronic music community. So in order to do that, I'm going to offer a couple incentives. The first one is all new releases from now until 2019 are going to be releasing first as free downloads exclusively to members of the Pretty Gritty family, and then all releases that are released first in the next couple of weeks as Pretty Gritty family exclusives will drop across all digital music services as one big Christmas gift on December 25th. So that actually starts this Friday. So I've got two new releases this Friday, a Pretty release and a Gritty release, both of which will become available as a free download exclusively to Pretty Gritty family members, and then both of those will also drop on December 25th across all digital music services. On top of that, each Friday starting in December, this week will be the last week for Pretty and Gritty releases. Starting the first week in December, we're doing a Pretty Takeover. So what that means is each Friday we'll still be releasing a brand new single, but it'll only be a Pretty single. It'll be a Pretty Takeover for the entire month of December. I want to see how this works. Gritty releases, if you're a Gritty electronic music fan, no worries. Gritty electronic music will be back beginning in January, but I want to see how this works, and then if all goes well, I want to have a Gritty takeover month in the future, maybe like October of 2019. We'll have a Gritty takeover month, and then we'll have those all available as free downloads, and then culminating as one big release on October 31st for Halloween. So the Pretty Takeover will begin in December, so next Friday, and will last through the month of December, leading up until Christmas, December 25th. And then the following week, we have the Pretty Gritty Essentials album 2019. So we released a Pretty Gritty Essentials album, I believe, back in 2017. And we're doing it again this year, but we're doing it much bigger. We've released a lot more music this year than we have in any year before. So what we're doing is we're actually featuring 25 Pretty tracks and 25 Gritty tracks for a total of a 50-track album. The Pretty Gritty Essentials 2019 album will release across all digital music services beginning Friday, December 28th, 2018, and that also will become available to Pretty Gritty family members on December 28th, but it'll be available as a free download to all Pretty Gritty family members on that day. So, if you're not a member of the Pretty Gritty family yet, definitely get involved right now. Head on over to gonepostalrecords.com/family. Sign up today. You won't be sorry. There are a lot of awesome benefits with that, and You get from here until 2019 every single release here on Gone Postal Records free of charge as a free download before it goes on sale or goes available for streaming to the general public. So definitely jump on that, become a member of the Pretty Gritty family today. And the last announcement I have before we jump into the music this week on the podcast is a restructure for the Pretty Gritty podcast beginning in 2019. So beginning on episode 53, which will be the first episode of 2019, as well as the first episode of Season 5, we will be restructuring the podcast a little bit. You'll be noticing a few shorter episodes from here until 2019, and then beginning 2019, we'll be back to the original 8 tracks per week. But what I'm doing is I'm restructuring it a little bit. I'm going to be trimming label releases down to 2 per week, and I'm going to be bumping up community submissions up to 6 per week. So we'll still be having 8 new tracks every single week, but it's been getting kind of repetitive, at least to me, playing the same tracks 2 times in consecutive weeks. So what we're doing is we're going to be featuring just the tracks that are releasing that week, so just the Pretty and the Gritty release from that week on the podcast, and then we'll be featuring 6 community submissions rather than the usual 4. That way we can really mix it up, get a lot more music here on the podcast, and diversify what we'll be playing here on the podcast. So look forward to that podcast restructure in 2019, beginning with episode 53, the first Thursday in 2019. So now that I've talked your ear off for about 6 minutes straight, let us finally jump into the music, and let's get the party started this week with some brand new music coming soon on Gone Postal Records. And like I said, become a member of the Pretty Gritty family today, gonepostalrecords.com/family, in order to stay on top of all new releases right here on Gone Postal Records, as well as to get the rest of this year's releases 100% free of charge as free downloads before they go on sale or become available for streaming to the general public. So the first track I've got queued up this week on the podcast is a brand new trip-hop single from avOva and J.R. Hartley. And like I said, this will become available across all digital music services on December 25th, Christmas 2018. But you can get your hands on it this Friday, November 30th, tomorrow, as a member of the Pretty Gritty family. Become a member of the Pretty Gritty family and download this single tomorrow, 100% free of charge. This is Can You by avOva and J.R. Hartley. Once again, that was avOva and J.R. Hartley with Can You, and that is available tomorrow, November 30th, as a free download exclusively for members of the Pretty Gritty family, and it'll become available across all digital music services on Christmas Day, December 25th. Next up, I've got a brand new gritty IDM track from an artist named ANGRKD. ANGRKD is based in Canada, and like I said, this is the same situation. It'll become available as a free download exclusively to members of the Pretty Gritty family beginning tomorrow, November 30th, and it'll become available across all digital music services beginning on Christmas, December 25th. This is Razor Fight by ANGRKD. Once again, that was Razor Fight by ANGRKD, and that'll become available tomorrow as a Pretty Gritty family exclusive free download, and then across all digital music services beginning Christmas, December 25th. So, next up, we've got some brand new submissions from the community, and if you want to hear your music right here on an episode of the Pretty Gritty family, head on over to gonepostalrecords.com/submit and send me your music today. The first track I've got queued up is a brand new disco track from an artist named Rombeat. Rombeat has released here on Gone Postal in the past. They are back again with an awesome new disco track. Rombeat is from the Netherlands, and this track is available right now on SoundCloud. This is Like Before by Rombeat.
Get down.
Once again, that was Like Before by Rombeat, and that track is available right now on SoundCloud. Also available right now on SoundCloud is a brand new trap single from an artist named Blane. Blane is based here in the United States, and like I said, this is available right now on SoundCloud. This is Void by Blane. Once again, that was Void by Blane, and that is available right now on SoundCloud. Next up here on the podcast, I've got a brand new IDM track from Mxe Prizmo. Mxe Prizmo is no stranger to the Pretty Gritty podcast, and I'm pretty sure I've got a couple more tracks of his queued up over the next couple of weeks here on the podcast. Mxe Prizmo is based in Russia, and this track is available right now on SoundCloud as well. This is Porphyria by Mxe Prizmo. Once again, that was Porphyria by Mxe Prizmo, and that is available right now on SoundCloud. And that will lead us to our fourth and final community submission this week. It is a brand new trap single from an artist named JAQQ. JAQQ is based in Australia, and this track is available right now on SoundCloud. This is Distortion by JAQQ.
Distortion. JAQQ. Distortion. JAQQ.
Once again, that was Distortion by JAQQ, and it is available right now on SoundCloud. So that will just about wrap up the Pretty Gritty podcast this week, episode 48. Once again, if you want to hear your music right here on the Pretty Gritty podcast, beginning in 2019, we're going to be featuring 6 community submissions each week instead of just 4, so we've got ample opportunity for artists to get their music played here on the podcast. Head on over to gonepostalrecords.com/submit and send me your music today. And if you want to stay on top of all new releases here on Gone Postal Records and get every single new release from here until 2019 as free downloads, head on over to gonepostalrecords.com/family and become a member of the Pretty Gritty family today. It is a growing electronic music community, and I want to get as many people involved in this as possible. It's going to be a lot of fun. There are a lot of awesome benefits already, and there are so many more to come in the new year. So definitely, like I said, head on over to gonepostalrecords.com/family and become a member of the Pretty Gritty family today. But you've got it locked in to episode 48 of the Pretty Gritty podcast, and that means it is Thursday once again, and the weekend is almost here. So no matter what your plans are or where you're going, make sure to live it up, and as always, have a pretty gritty weekend.